Hello everybody, my name is Eric, and welcome back to Destiny 2. I saw some comments asking what my transmog screen is. They really like my Hunter outfit here, so I'll just quickly show that. Just these from some seasonals, plus the Bungie 30th anniversary. You need super black makes everything good. Swap out Erebos Glance here. For some reason it makes just the tip a nice dark red. And you need that cloak and this helmet to give this kind of like, or headless look. I actually like to swap this off into this. And this can go into any form of helmet that you like it though. The reason I want to make this video is because I see a lot of Hunter Pantheon this week, and I'm just sick with how some of them, sure they watch like the Mactis video on what guns to use and what not to use, but I'm seeing a lot of Hunters not knowing how to do DPS properly. I'm gonna start it out with the highest DPS rotation I've ever seen in the game. How you get over 3 million like in one DPS phase? Basically you need to chain in 2 or more forms of DPS into your rotation. The most basic type of DPS I've seen, and probably the most consistent, is you put on Celestial Nighthawk on make sure you're on Golden Gun Marksman, and then you just put triple Solar Surge. This is actually really important in all of the DPS testing. No matter what you want, you need 3 Solar Surges, or 2 of one type of surge and 1 of another type of surge if you have a rotation of some sort. Don't even bother with these. I don't even care if you're not at 10 resilience. This is the most important, especially in Pantheon, where it's just boss damage, boss damage, boss damage. The most braindead thing is put on Celestial Nighthawk, pop your super, use your super, then you want to immediately swap to your heavy. So this is what you would do in something like Kingsfall. All you do is pop your super and shoot Whisper of the Worm. If everyone does this, it's an easy 2-phase, guaranteed. You'll easily go way past half health. That's all you need. Then you have these two to do whatever you want. You have Undead and Kindness open. This weapon is just so overpowered. This is a fucking truck stop kindness. This deals with all your orange, yellow bars DPS. It's really brain dead. If you do this, no one will get mad at you. You'll easily hit middle of the leaderboard, or maybe even the highest if really no one's doing anything. This for any exotic. Parasite, sure. This is what you do in Atrax. This is what you do in Cartaker or whatever. This is all fine. The highest amount of DPS I've ever seen, you have to loop in more. Have your super for a quick 1 mil damage, or around that damage point, and then you have your heavy. That's only 2 forms of damage. If you want more damage, you have to loop in more. And if you watch Esoteric and a lot of other people, how they basically solo encounters without hitting a rage is they're looping in a Celestial Nighthawk. What you can do is you can click 4, pop your super, then immediately take Celestial Nighthawk off, or use a loadout transfer. Have something already without it. You can just click this button. Or I would actually go first. I would use Assassin's Cowl. So let's say you're in contest mode of the later Pantheons. It's really hard to stay alive because you're down 20 levels. Like 5 seconds before DPS, this is what you want to do. You want to quickly swap over to, just go over here, click Celestial Nighthawk, click the, well, I didn't have it on, click the super button with Golden Gun Marksman on it, and immediately swap to a loadout. You already have preset, gonna kind of look like this. Then, even on this loadout page right here, as you see, we have Lucky Pants on. Use your Celestial Nighthawk first. Make sure you have these saved up and ready. You can swap guns and all. It's totally fine as long as it has full ammo. Primary and special, if it's already reloaded, you'll swap with full ammo in it. You don't want to swap heavies. After you shoot off your Celestial Nighthawk, you immediately go into Lucky Pants. That's 2 forms of damage. And immediately after that, notice how I have a mixed surge of 1 kinetic and 2 solar surge. Then you go into spamming your heavy. And then after spamming heavy, you go back into this. You have 3 forms of damage. You'll put yourself at the highest with just 3 forms. If you want even higher, you can loop in 4. You can instead put an Apex Predator, which is a little bit less damage than Galhorn. However, now you can put in Merciless. And now you're double Solar Surge. And now you have 4 forms of damage. You had your super from last time, the Celestial Nighthawk, that you proc super and then immediately swap to this, saving time. You have a free like half a mil to 1 mil damage with that super. Then you go immediately into a Warden's Law, which will give you around half a mil to 1 mil. That's 2 mil right there. Then you go into immediately proccing 1 Merciless on a nearby mob, into reloading, into Apex Predator, bait and switch 2 shots, and go immediately into spamming your Merciless, and after that you shoot your 2 Apex, and after that you go back to Warden's Law. Like, That's how much damage you can possibly do. You can see there's like a breathing room time. There's something in like Caretaker where you have that time where you're moving from plate to plate. What I used in week 1 when it was Void Surge for Golgoroth for week 1, because this will one-shot the thingy and blah blah. Notice that these are both Void. You would put 2 Void Surges into for Caretaker, an easy 2-floor method. Make sure you have Cascade Point. This is the most important part. This part is the most important part. The second most important part is to be on Stasis. Wow. This is the highest damage I've seen in the entire video game. In my entire 5 billion years of playing this game. Why did the lighting not change? That was weird. This is the highest damage, and it all has to do with this aspect right here. You naturally have 2 Withering Blades, and this will basically guarantee that you have both during the DPS phase, as long as you're not spamming it. I'll post the video right now because I don't want to do the testing. This is exactly or very similar to what I did on Caretaker and Golgoroth. Highest damage I've ever seen. You immediately super at the start of the damage phase. You're going to use all your Warden's Law. That's going to give you around 1 mil just with their super Warden's Law. And you immediately go to your Edge Transit with Cascade Point. The most important part is Cascade Point. I actually say Explosive Light is better because in some LFG groups and no one's really planning their supers. Some guy might super at the end of the damage phase, so you'll get your Explosive Light then. And this actually might do around the same damage as Bane Switch without having you to actually use your secondary weapon, which in this case is 4th Horseman with the Catalyst. Quickly shoot 7 shots of Cascade Pointed Edge Transit, throw a Withering Blade, which will reload your Warden's Law and also your Edge Transit, but not your 4th Horseman, but that's okay for now. Go back into Edge Transit, shoot 7 of those shots, and throw a melee. Shoot your 4th Horseman, and then and then you should have a breathing room to run around. Then you can go back to Warden's Law. You'll have Warden's Law again. It's seriously bonkers, and at that point, DPS phase should be over. The highest DPS I've seen this go off is right under 4 mil, like 3.9 million. It's the highest damage I've seen in the entire game, and especially on Caretaker, where on the second one, you don't want to do too much DPS. That's where you're going to be using like 4th Horseman. I believe there is a way to glitch it out, like mid-swap, to actually reload all 3, but that's, to be honest, not too consistent. So all of this was for last week when it was Void Surged, where Edge of Transit is king. Week 2, it's Solar Surge, so you're really going to want to stick to Apex, you're going to stick to Parasite, you're going to stick to Whisper of the Worm. Loadout swapping, you really only need 2 loadouts. You need 1 loadout with Lucky Pants, 1 loadout with Celestial Nighthawk, and then you manually swap over to Assassin's Cowl. Run away, go back to your spots, reset to the start of the thing. Click on this one and manually swap back to Assassin's Cowl. I actually say King's Fall, don't do the swap. King's Fall, literally just use Celestial Nighthawk with Whisper of the Worm. Just do this. Super, fire this. That's it. And so you don't have to do more. You really don't have to do more. Make sure you're proccing Whisper Breathing. Super, ADS with this. Wait for 1 second until you hear like a sound effect. If you don't hear it, just count 1 Mississippi and then start shooting. 8-track brainDead. Have Parasite. That's it. So while you're doing the mechanic, you'll naturally farm up 20 kills, 20 ad kills. Everyone goes up top. Everyone shoots this and clicks their super button. Blade Barrage is good, or Celestial Nighthawk is also good. We'll basically one-tap the guy. If you don't, immediately send the scanner and another guy down. If you do not have Parasite, I suggest Lament. If you don't have Lament or that, could try to get away with a really good slammer roll with a good damage right click, or maybe even a really good a high impact rocket launcher. That might even do it. A 4th Horseman might do it. So when I was on Tormentor duty during the glitch where you had to kill the Tormentor for some reason, this does so much damage to Tormentors. It's a fucking joke. This makes them a joke. Literally all weapons are countered by the Tormentor. This counters the Tormentor. Trust. Remember in 8-track you can run ricochet rounds, because I run Operator and you can shoot the thing off yourself. Just guarantee that your team has 1 less thing to mess up. I know it sucks, but it's surprising that this does more damage than the Celestial Nighthawk into Lucky Pants into Merciless swap. It actually does more. It's insane. But yeah, key takeaways: make sure this is there. Make sure. Another DPS hint: triple reserves on just some random trash piece of purple armor that you have. Put this right before you do your rally banner, and you'll have basically 5 more shots of your rocket launcher or whatever. Then you can swap back into your concussive dampener melee things. The problem with Stasis is that you might find it hard to survive. So when you're doing this, you must be a veteran in PvE movement. There's there's a way of moving in PvE that I can't quite explain that helps you dodge projectiles of there's a way to move to really trick people's the AI of some mobs. If you guys want me to make a Warlock DPS or Titan DPS one, those numbers are going to be a little bit down, but if you see like your team's not contributing and you must also be the well user and also do DPS, I'll make a video on that, because I'm pretty experienced with that stuff as well. And watch out for the Unseeking bug. Go watch the other video that I made. With that, subscribe if you want to see more. I'm making a PvP guide soon. See you in the next video. Bye bye.